Welcome to e-Semplice, where music theory is simplified. This is a grade 2 music theory video on notes and rest grouping, question and answer. To aid comprehension, please see our previous videos on simple time, notes and rest grouping, and our video on compound time, notes and rest grouping. In this video, we shall consider examination questions from Muson exam, May 2019. Muson exam, November 2021. This question is from Muson exam, May 2019. It says, group the following correctly. Add bar lines. Group the following correctly. Add bar lines. This is a 2-4 time. You will do well to always sketch the initial outlook of the time signature you are to work with. Now, the initial outlook of 2-4 is 2 crochets. As you can see, beat 1 and beat 2. Please, you will do well to refresh your memory from our videos on simple time, notes and rest grouping, and compound time, notes and rest grouping, as it will help you a lot. The first rule is group notes beat by beat. That is, finish beat 1 before you move to beat 2. And if part of beat 1 is given, finish completing the other part of beat 1 before moving to beat 2. Now, looking at the initial outlook, and remember, when you are grouping notes, notes that have tails or flags should be beamed. Now, let's go on. Let's start from the very first beat in 2-4 time. The beat 1 is a crochet. So you look at the semiquavers given. How many semiquavers will form the first crochet? You are definitely going to have 4 semiquavers. So that means for beat 1, beam 4 semiquavers together. Now we've concluded beat 1. Let's move to beat 2. Beat 2 is another crochet. So after the first 4 semiquavers, we still have semiquavers. So that means we need to beam the next 4 to form beat 2, which is another crochet. And with that, we have 2 crochets in that bar. So it means the next appropriate thing, since that bar is already completed, is to put a bar line. After the bar line, start with crochet 1 again, the first beat. Now, after the first 8 semiquavers, the next note there is a quiver and 2 semiquavers, and that will form another crochet. So you beam those together to form beat 1. After that, you have 2 quavers. The 2 quavers will form beat 2. That bar is also completed. So bar line. Now we move to bar 3. Bar 3, the first beat is a crochet, and we have a clean crochet there. So that's beat 1. And we have another crochet for beat 2. That bar is also balanced. So the next best thing is to add a bar line. But remember, there is a tie to the quiver, so you need to indicate that tie. So we'll start with beat 1 again. The 2 quavers will form beat 1. Now we have 2 semiquavers and a quiver that will form another crochet. As you can see, you'll see that we are beaming them in crochets. So please note, because the initial outlook of 2/4 time is 2 crochet beats per bar. So you work with beat 1, beat 2. Now beat 2 has been completed, so the next best thing is a bar line. Now from there, we have a dotted quiver and a semi-quiver that will form another crochet for beat 1, and then we have a quiver and 2 semi-quivers to form beat 2. The next thing is a bar line. Now the last note is a minim, and that takes care of the last bar. Now this is the way to group notes. So please, let's proceed. This question is from Muson exam May 2019, and it says complete the following bars with a rest or rests at the places marked with an asterisk. It is best practice for you to always sketch the initial outlook of time signatures, so you'll be well guided when you are either grouping notes or balancing bars with notes or rest. So that's where we will start from. The initial outlook of 6/8 is this. That's 2 dotted crochet beads in a bar. So working with these now, you see that the first beat is represented by the 3 quavers. So that means the only rest that will balance that bar will actually be quiver rest, because the next 3 quiver rests will form beat 2. Let's move to 4/4 time. 4/4 time, this is the initial outlook, 4 crochet beats in a bar. Now the first beat is there, represented by the 2 quavers. The second beat is there as a crochet, and 4/4 has half of the bar. And remember that half of the bar can be put together. So since we already have 2 crochets on this side, it means the only rest that can fill the asterisk is minim rest, because the minim rest represents the other half of the bar. Now we are still working with 4/4 time. Now this is a completely silent bar of 4/4 time, and you are to use, for a complete silent bar, it is good you use 1 rest to fill it. And the only rest that can fill a silent bar in 4/4 time is full bars rest. You know it to be semi-breve rest. If you are having an issue with this, please see our previous video on full bars rest. Let's move to 3/8 time. The initial outlook, 3 quavers in a bar, or 3 quiver beats in a bar. The first quiver is represented there, and then the dot on the quiver plus the semi-quiver forms beat 2. So it means beat 3 is completely absent, and beat 3 is a quiver. So a rest that can feel that, it will be a quiver rest. Let's move to 6/4 time. The initial outlook of 6/4 is 2 dotted minims in a bar. Now the first dotted minim is there, so the second bit we are to use a rest to show for that. It is either you use a dotted minim rest or you use a minim rest and a crochet rest to fill that bar. Let's proceed. This question is from Muson exam November 2021, and it says add the missing rest at the places marked asterisks. This is a 3/4 time. We are going straight to bar 3. Bar 3 is a silent bar. Well, the initial outlook first. Bar 3 is a silent bar, and the only rest that can fill that bar beautifully is full bars rest. Please do well to see our previous video on full bars rest to aid your comprehension. Let's move to bar 4. Bar 4 has only a crochet, and the crochet is actually the last crochet, which is bit 3. So there's a crochet for bit 1, another crochet for bit 2. So it will be ideal you show bit 1 first with a crochet rest and show bit 2 with another crochet rest to balance that bar. Let's move to the next bar. In the next bar we have a minim, and that minim combines bit 1 and bit 2. We only have bit 3 left, and bit 3 is a crochet, so the only rest there should be a crochet rest. We move to the last asterisk. There is a minim, which is a combination of bit 1 and bit 2, and then we have a quiver. A quiver cannot on its own balance a crochet because bit 3 is a crochet and a quiver is just half of that. So the rest that can be added to that quiver to form bit 3 can only be quiver rest. And with that, we have fully answered that question. This question is from Muson exam May 2020, and it says add bar lines to the following and prefix appropriate time signatures. Now, how do you go about this? Because the time signature is not given. You are the one to look at the notes and the pattern of grouping of the notes and decide a time signature for this. As you can see, the notes and rest are grouped mostly in crochets, and this is an indication that the principal note is a crochet. What that means is that the lower number of the time signature is going to be 4, which represents a crochet. And in all, we have a total number of 8 crochets. With 8 crochets, there are 2 possibilities to this question, and we are going to consider the 2 possibilities. The first possibility is that 2/4 will work because we have 8 crochets in all, and then 4/4 will also work. So we are going to do 2/4 above and try 4/4 below. So first, let's start with 2/4 time. Now remember, 2/4 means 2 crochets, so just count the crochets. Once you have 2 crochets, put a bar line. Now this is beat 1, that is a crochet, the first crochet. This is the second crochet, so that means a bar line has to come here. Now this is beat 1 again, a crochet. This is beat 2, another crochet, so another bar line. Now this is a crochet, beat 1, another crochet, beat 2, so a bar line comes there, and the last bar is balanced because that's a meaning. Let's look at 4/4 time. Remember, here we'll be looking for 4 crochets before we put a bar line. This is beat 1, that's a crochet. This is beat 2, another crochet. Beat 3, another crochet. Beat 4, the last crochet, so a bar line has to come. For the other bar, this is the first crochet, beat 1, second crochet, beat 2. Now beats 3 and 4 are in that meaning. As you can see, once you follow the initial outlook of a time signature, grouping notes or balancing bars or barring free musical phrases will become very easy. Now, this is from Muson exam May 2020, and it says add bar lines to the following and prefix appropriate time signatures. Let's just look at these. Let's first look at the presence of triplets. You can see triplets. There are 2 pairs of triplets in this line, and the presence shows that this is a simple time. You will also do well to look to see our previous videos on simple time and compound time. Please do, because the presence of certain notes on the stave will immediately tell you if it is a compound time or a simple time. Now the presence of these triplets only show that this can only be a simple time, because it is only in simple time signatures that you find triplets. Now the next thing is the quavers are grouped in crochets. That means the principal note will be a crochet, and a crochet is represented by 4. So the next best thing is just look at the total number of crochets. You'll find 10 of it. There are a total of 10 crochets in this line of music, and since 10 can evenly be divided by 2, that means our suspected time signature is 2/4 time. That means in this line of music, if you add the bar lines using 2/4 time, we are going to have 5 bars, and 2/4 here, just go counting in crochets. That's the first bar. You can see 2 crochets there. Now look for another 2 crochets and put a bar line. The dotted crochet and a quiver will form another 2 crochets. Now the triplet is actually 1 crochet. The next triplet is another crochet, so a bar line comes after that. Now the next 2 crochets, you have that, and then you see at the end of the day we have 5 bars. So this is how to treat a question like this. Best of luck in your examination. Subscribe to e-Semplice YouTube channel if you had not already subscribed, and hit the notification button. You will always receive a notification when new videos are posted. Many thanks for watching.